They said Joe Rogan.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
Joe Rogan, the highest paid podcaster, breaking in $30 million. How is he getting paid?
That's a lot of goddamn coins, boy.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Joe for that, though.
Who? I mean, is it AdSense? Who's his broker?
I know.
Hey, man. Never mind.
Yeah,
I'll wait.
Yeah, we ain't even gonna go into that right now because it's
I'll wait.
Yeah, sometimes you gotta be patient on certain things. Speaking of somebody though, Sandman didn't wait. Bill Cosby has something that he pretty much said to Snoop Dogg. I don't know if you have that story. I'm in front of you right now.
I do know. Bill Cosby, on the wake of Snoop Dogg going in on Gail Kim situation that's going on, he dropped a tweet from prison to Snoop Dogg, and it says that Snoop, when they brought me to my gated community and placed me inside of my penthouse, they didn't win, nor did they silence me. It's so sad and disappointing that successful Black women are being used to tarnish the image and legacy of successful Black men, even in death. Are these people that in need of fame, ratings, and or money? On behalf of myself, Camille, and my family, thank you, thank you, thank you. My heartfelt prayers are with Kobe and his family, as well as with Michael Jackson and his family. May their legacies live on forever. Hashtag thank you, Snoop Dogg. Bet on Black legacy. Stop tearing down Black men. Enough is enough. Kobe's legacy lives on. Gianna, Michael Jackson, and Bill Cosby far from finished.
One thing I'll say, Sandman, is no matter how many times we have this discussion here, I'm never going to waver. One thing that I always vowed to do was tell the truth on a microphone and never be compromised by thinking, oh, if you say this could happen. Obviously, there's certain boundaries we know you just don't cross. But, as far as us being real and candid about how we feel, we always going to do that here on the Hip Hop Uncensored podcast. And when you look at this, though, and just the phone call that we just got off, with a relative of Michael Jackson, his nephew, I think that if before we ever felt like, oh, it's conspiracy and this stuff ain't real, we know now that it's real. Not even because we spoke to him, but it's something about hearing it from different people, though.
Confirmation.
It's confirmation that, all right, we see, because it's like you see the patterns. Like if you see something happening over and over, you can't have nobody come up to you and tell me I'm not saying what I'm saying. We never raised like that. You know what I mean? So yeah, we talked about the agenda. We talked about down the list, Black athletes, entertainers, guys with the cleanest images all the way probably down to the dirtiest images. Something always comes to tarnish their legacy. And like Bill Cosby was saying to Snoop, even in death at this point, it's like, if he was so clean, we want to make him dirty because we can't afford to have that image of the Black male be, messiahified, if that's even a word, or made as a messiah, for other people to have hope off of this person. Is because even when we look at, we talk about all the time, a lot of the main guys, dresses, these are the top movies that they're known for. And it's like, really? How can you sit up here and tell your son your daddy put on a dress? I just find it hard to fathom at this point. I
want to give comments on this subject, but I don't want to dig too deep into the next subject without really giving proper context, but they go hand in hand, right? And it's like, the only thing you want is fairness. Now, I was doing some research on certain things, and no one's saying that one person's guilty, one person's innocent, this, that, or another, because nobody outside of that person and the people that are claiming to be victims know, right? So we're all just sitting here giving our educated opinions on shit we were there to see, so we don't know. But the thing that's alarming is your mainstream media only gives you one side of the spectrum, and the pieces in play of that spectrum are one color, and that's Black. And when you look at the overall scheme of things and the other people that are being accused of things and allegations and other things coming out aren't being treated the same.
Not at all.
Things are being brushed under the rug. like you said, we just talked to Taj Jackson about a number of things. He hit us up today saying that he wanted to give us some commentary as far as the Gayle King situation and his personal experience, which we're going to get to in the next segment. But he also said that there are some prominent names, and out of respect, because he said he didn't want the conversation to be aired, but we can facilitate the information to the people, and that's what we're going to do.
Yeah. He
named some names as far as some rock stars and some other people that are involved in some real disturbing shit that it's crazy that you don't hear more of it. Now, I'm talking about people on the level of your Bill Cosby's, on the level of your R. Kelly's, on the level of your Michael Jackson's. When I'm talking about singers, entertainers, moguls, that kind of stuff, man, it runs deep. And the fact that you don't hear about it and how manipulative it gets and the people in play moving those chess pieces around and peeing the pawns, it gets deep, dog. It's crazy.
Yeah.
With all that being said, man, I'm glad that they are not shutting Bill Cosby down, no matter how you feel about him. I'm glad that he's out here continuing to have a voice. And I like where we're at, man. People are going to have to start fucking talking and explaining themselves.
You know what I mean? As far as him speaking out about the tarnishing of the black man, it's like it seemed like now that he's in a real bad situation in prison. He lost a lot. You know, it's never going to be broke, but he lost a lot of money. He lost, his dignity probably. He lost, his prestige as a man. He was known as Cliff Huxtable, like Mr. Cosby, like the greatest man ever in the world. To now being known as somebody who drugged women and pretty much fell from grace. Would you say that, he's just using that? What do you say to the people, who say he's just using that now because he's in that situation? He's trying to invoke the race card and talk about all this, but it's accounts of him actually doing it. He admitted it that he actually did this. What do you feel about that situation? Do you buy it?
Are you asking me, is he playing a little bit of the OJ card? And what I mean by that is this. He wasn't black. He was just OJ up until the trial. And Johnny Cochran was in there changing up photos in his house.
No, I'm saying,
and now because he's in that situation, he's now playing the black card.
Yeah, obviously, because he's in jail now. So now he's going to say, the reason they did this is because of this, as opposed to him actually doing some stuff to get put in a situation.
That's
see that a lot.
That's interesting, man. That's interesting you say that because I don't know. Mr. Cosby done a lot for a lot of people, and he's very, very to the people that he was close to. You hear nothing but great things about him. But a lot of people disliked him too for various reasons and various things that had nothing to do with the reason why he's in jail right now. And correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know if you've ever heard him being outspoken, maybe in regards to ownership and things like that. But it often, when you heard Mr. Cosby talk, it was often more like a grandfather or a dad talking more at us as opposed to us. And now it seems like he's trying to wrap his arm around certain situations. So maybe he's playing that card, but I'm not saying he's incorrect. But playing the card, it seems like it a little bit.
And maybe it could have been that he just didn't want to reveal that hand, but now it's like they threw the cut house at me, so now I'm revealing that hand. I'm letting you know what it is on my way out of here. You know what I mean? Whatever it may be, but we gonna keep living, and we're gonna keep watching. We're gonna keep reporting on it. So the next 10 to 15 people that they try to drag under the rug, we'll be talking about and exposing it.
When I was doing research on this topic before we got in here, one thing I was really thinking about is you don't hear too much, and out of respect, I'm guessing it's out of respect to you don't hear much from his wife, and I'm sure his wife knows a lot. I'm sure his wife dealt with a lot, seen a lot, knew a lot, and I don't want him to have this conversation and start having people kind of, go at her, but because she doesn't deserve it. But I'm sure she knows a lot, and you don't hear from her.
Yeah. I'm almost like talking, and we can just transition to this. Taj Jackson is like, we talk about this stuff, we see this stuff, we see these headlines, and we get to see their body language and all that. But then when you actually hear it from the people who are dealing with it firsthand and have dealt with these people, it almost, makes you, get you a little kind of like, scared a little bit.
Shook.
Like, whoa, this is really real. But Taj Jackson.
Yeah, bro. So we sitting here getting ready. earlier this afternoon.
Yeah.
And get a text from Taj Jackson. He was like, "Thank you. Appreciate y'all work. If you got 5 minutes of your time, I want to give some commentary on the Gayle King situation." I want to call it Gayle Kim. I think that was an old wrestler or something. Gayle King. Obviously, him having experience with Gayle King when it comes to his uncle and the controversy surrounding that. And we all know Oprah and her relationship with the Jacksons. If you don't know, we'll give you a brief history as we go along the commentary in that, because she was brought up heavy in this commentary. He asked not to have his vocals or have the commentary put on wax. So out of respect, we won't do that. But he said fair game to talk about what we talked about. And we're going to go in. So we talked about Gayle King. We had a conversation yesterday about Gayle King, and I said that I felt as though she may not have known that CBS. She may have knew that they were going to manipulate the pieces, but did not know it was going to be dropped. We asked him about that. He answered that. But just real quick, what did you think about the conversation with Ty?
I thought it, went along the lines of what we kind of got to towards the end, and the point that I was making, that her hands aren't as clean as she's making it seem now. Yeah. Today, Oprah came out, damn near tearfully, talked about, the backlash she was getting. Supposedly Gayle King's getting death threats and everything from this. But I totally believe, and it was confirmed by talking to Taj Jackson, a nephew of Michael Jackson, that she knew about it. It was planned. Not only was it planned, I think that, like I was telling you, I think when she gave it up is when she said, I'm reading her body language and I'm seeing her, look like that she's trying to get something out of Lisa Leslie. Like she's trying to, when Lisa Leslie was like, I don't think that we should be going there to tarnish his legacy. And then she said that they went to trial, and Gayle King pretty much came back and said that, it was dismissed because the woman pretty much wouldn't testify. And when she said that, I was like, whoa, first of all, why would you bring it up? But second of all, why would you try to imply something like that at the end of that? So I think that the conversation that her and CBS had was the backlash part of it. Like, okay, yeah, you're going to get some backlash, but it'll go away. They'll forget about it in a few days. I think that it got to the point where it got so overwhelming, the death threats that supposedly came in, and, the people probably hitting her up on Twitter, Facebook, and all the social media, the calls, texts, whatever. She now was like regretting the decision for CBS to put it out. Like I said, in media, we know god daggone well that they take the juicy part, like I said yesterday, of the story, and they put it out there. What better now to put out there than the Kobe part and Lisa Leslie talking about Kobe's rape conviction. And then we talked to Taj. He says, like, yeah, it's definitely an agenda to destroy the image of Black men in entertainment, music, especially the bigger ones that have more positive image. We really got to put this together and go down the line and see how many of us, actors, entertainers, have legacies have been tarnished by mainstream media before and after death. We really need to look into that. Yeah,
and we will. And listening to him confirmed a lot for me. I was one to say, like I said earlier, maybe she didn't know. Right. And he confirmed, nah, it's no way. And she brought up some things that really was like, all right, yeah, you know what? You're 100% right. She used the word victim, but what about the victim? And you got somebody that's alleging something, and you got somebody that's a victim. Those are two very different things. And her wording and how she was trying to manipulate the subconscious mind into steering a narrative is something that he highlighted. It's something that she did to him in their interview. What about the victims? Well, what victims? You know what I mean? And these are games she's playing. Something else that stood out to me and caught my attention like a mug was the fact that Gayle King has ultimate control over her show. Of course. That nothing goes in or out unless she's okaying it and giving that checkbook. When he said that, I'm like, yo, then Sam, you bugging. Really think about that a little deeper, because that makes 100% sense. And she had to know exactly the pieces that were going to be in play. Now, what she didn't know is that people were going to cook her the way that they did. Yeah, and she got sensitive. Yeah. Now, Oprah, you talked about Oprah. Oprah went in defending her girl today, playing the victim role, and Taj did not hold his tongue about Oprah at all. She has a heavier piece in a lot of this than what meets the eye. in certain people, in certain plays being played out and things like that. He said that the documentary about Russ was originally about Harvey Weinstein.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
He said that a lot of the attention that's being thrown out here, your Kobe Bryant, now his untimely death, we're going to throw that controversy, this or that, are all deflections for other reasons. And Oprah has her hand in a lot of that. And to hear all of that and to see a woman who you're supposed to admire and aspire. We watched her when we were kids. We watched her go from where she was at to $1 billion. And to know that she's that deep to stop it, to stop us, to destroy a narrative, no matter where she can, is weird, man. It's crazy.
Yeah, and what happens is, though, these people, they get to these positions and whatnot, and they sell out. And they allow people to come in, and somebody may come in with some type of agenda and say, look, we want to do so and so and so. And instead of them saying, heck no, I would never do that, they say, well, show me the money. Let's do this. Not to say that Oprah got to where she got. Nobody's saying, she didn't work hard and she wasn't one of the best people in what she did. Same thing with Gayle King. But when every time you turn around, Gayle King sitting down with R. Kelly, Gayle King sitting down, with Lisa Leslie, and the things that the way that they conduct the interview is not objective at all. They're always trying to push and stare a narrative. That was 100% orchestrated by CBS. They knew exactly what they were doing.
Yeah,
that masters in media. Now, Gayle King can say she didn't know, she did, and that was the case. Like, she would really convince me if she would just walk away from CBS at this point, because that's something to where it's like, yo, you don't do that. And the fact that she's staying there and continuing on, like, I think it was orchestrated, Sam, man. And like I said, talking to Taj Jackson, it confirmed it even more. And I'm